Hi there. Well, it's still June. We're going to go ahead and start off on June 9th in the Reformation and Exploration era in 1525. A tax revolt in Hertogenbosch begins, or at least takes place. And in 1529, Zurich declares war on Catholic cantons within its area of influence. And in 1531, Pope Clemens VII and Francois I signed the secret treaty against the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. In 1534, Jacques Cartier sails into the mouth of St. Louis for the very first time. In 1549, the Book of Common Prayer is adopted by the Church of England, and England enforces the Act of Supremacy upon its people, meaning the Anglican Church basically does away with everything that is Catholic. And in 1572, June 9th, Willem van Orange's army occupies the region of Gelderland. And in 1628, the first deportation of Thomas Morton from Massachusetts. This happens quite a bit. Even it still does happen today. It's definitely sad. I don't doubt that. Yet, there were reasons for deportation back then. And some of this was recorded, others recordings were lost, burned, or just never really kept up to date. And on June 10th, 1502, the Crimean Khan defeats the Great Horde in the battle near Warskla. This defeat of the Golden Horde leads to the very disintegration of that same Great Horde that rode on the steppes of Asia under Genghis Khan. And in 1538, Catholic German monarchy signs the League of Nuremberg. And in 1539, Council of Trent Paul III sends out letters to his bishops delaying the council due to war and difficulty. So bishops had traveling to Venice because the roads weren't exactly safe or well kept. I have to say it wasn't safe enough. Plus it would be expensive hiring a guard or two. And in 1540, Thomas Cromwell is arrested in Westminster. In 1605, false Dmitry I, an impostor, is crowned as a Russian Tsar. His reign only lasts from 1605 to 1606. And in 1610, Thomas West, Baron de la Mar, is appointed governor of Virginia. And on the same day, first Dutch settlers arrived from New Jersey to colonize Manhattan Island. In 1619, during the 30 Years' War, the Battle of Sablatee takes place. It is a turning point in the Bohemian Revolt. During the whole 30 Years' War between Protestants and Catholics. And in 1624, Netherlands and France signed an anti-Spanish treaty of Compiègne. This happens so many times in history where England and France will sign a treaty against Spain, or Spain and France will sign a treaty against England, or England and the Dutch versus France, France and the Dutch versus England, which I don't know why the Dutch would want to sign an alliance with Spain after freeing themselves from their influence. And in 1627, Dutch privateer Piet Hein attacks Portuguese ships in the Bay of All Saints off of Brazil. And 1611, June 11th, 1509, Henry VIII of England marries Catherine of Aragon. 1517, Sir Thomas Pert reaches Hudson Bay. 1572, Spanish Coland guardian Duke of Medinaceli arrives in Loch. And 1578, England grants Sir Humphrey Gilbert a patent to explore North America. And in 1594, Philip II recognized the rights and privileges of the local nobles of chieftains in the Philippines, which paves way for the creation of what is known as the Principalia, as the elite ruling class of the native nobility within the Philippines that are under the rule of Spain, which now they're independent, but back in 1590s they were under Spanish rule. On June 12th, 1523, Frisian rebel leader sorry about that 1523, Frisian rebel leader Janko Dal Wam is arrested by authorities. And in 1534, Turkish Admiral Cerendin Barbarossa allows Giulia Gonzaga to kidnap and plunder in Naples. And in 1552, I'm getting ahead, land guardians of the Netherlands attack Verdun. And in 1553, King Edward IV accepts the Archbishop Cranmer's 42 articles that is presented to him. And in 1560, the Battle of Oke Hazama between Japanese shogunates, Oda Nobunaga defeats Imagawa Yoshimoto. And it's June 13th, 1547, King Ferdinand of Austria subjects himself to Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. June 11th, 1611, and June 13th, John Fabricius dedicates his earliest suspect for a sunspot publication. And June 14th, 1535, Emperor Charles V's fleet sails under Andrea Doria to Tunisia. 1565, Caterina de' Medici and Duke of Alva discuss Calvinism, because during this time, nobles and commoners alike are seeing this Reformation as a way to get away from the Catholic Church. They want to hear the translation for the Catholics. They want their own translation. They want themselves to pray to God. They don't want a Catholic priest doing that for them. And in 1597, at 4:30 a.m., Willem Barents leaves Novaya Zemlya for the Netherlands. In 1615, Jacques Le Maire sailed to Zuiland/Terra Australis. In 1623, it is the first breach of promise lawsuit Rev. Gervell, Pulley, Virginia, files against Cicely Jordan. He loses the case. Well, that's all for now. You have a good one. Bye.